So what do you do when you're given the opportunity to do a drum solo or a drum shed and you need to go really crazy on the drums? This is a question I get asked a lot. And the simplest but honest answer I can give drummers is to tell them, just play crossovers. Now you might not know this, but what actually gets people wowed in your drum performances or drum solos is not actually your rudiments and all those kind of stuffs. Those things wow just musicians, particularly drummers. You get what actually wows people is, those crazy hand movements where you have your hands, flying around from this tom to this tom to the cymbals to this other cymbals. Yeah. So that brings us to what I'm teaching you guys today, which I was hiding from you guys in the beginning of this video, which is crossovers. Without wasting much time, the crossover is just something you do between the parts of the drums that are quite distant from each other, that require some kind of motion, that has your hand going like this, your hands flying around. That's what the crossover is basically. So the first one I'm going to be showing you guys is this very basic one. But first of all, if you really want to benefit from this video, please watch till the end so you can learn those advanced ones. You get? Please do this for your own good. So this first one is just singles between your floor tom and your hi-hat. Do you get? Now, most times when you're doing a crossover, one of the secret hacks I'm going to give you is make sure your left hand is most times beneath your right hand. Do you get? So we have this, something like this kind of motion. Try to do this motion without playing anything. Just do. Do you get? So we have. What am I doing? So on the snare drum, you can get it first of all, just a single strokes with accent, playing as if it's triplet. So you get, so it's basically triplets. You're just playing triplets, but spreading your hands between these two toms. So we have. So now the next thing you can do is you can just add your kick on every accent. That means every hi-hat note. Every time you hit the hi-hat. So you have something like this. You can make your hi-hat a hi-hat choke. Do you get? Just choke the hi-hat a little bit at that point. So how cool is that? Imagine you have a fill or you're just doing a drum solo and then people see your hands flying. You have. So the next thing we can now do is the single paradiddles. Playing the single paradiddle. If you know the single paradiddle, we have. So we take all the first note of the paradiddle, you get. So the first right, then the first left. Do you get? It might look difficult, but slowly you get it. So we have. So play with your kick. The usual way we normally do it, a kick on just when the hi-hat is coming in. So we have. So. Now this cannot happen overnight. Make sure your left hand is strong enough to do those doubles. It's not easy to do doubles on the floor tom. So work your hand very well to be able to do those doubles on your floor tom. So. Now the next thing we're doing is the double paradiddles. The double paradiddle rudiment is just, we have. Right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, blah, 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 blah. Left, right, left, right, left, left. You get? So let's beat on the snare drum. So get your snare drum first of all, then do the same thing. Just accents on this hi-hat over here. So let's do it. So don't forget, you can also do this with your cymbals if you want to go more crazy. If you want to go to your single paradiddle. So now you've learned those basic ones. Yes, I call them basic because we're about to enter the really, really strong ones now. This is the first one we're going to be learning. Something, light but sweet. That's how it sounds. Yeah, so if you're having a drum solo, you're just like. Did you catch that? So we have. Very simple. So we just basically have. Well, now you need to know where you're coming in. It's coming in on the A. So if you're counting 1 E N A, 2 E N A, 3 E N A, we're coming in on A. 1 E N A. You get? 1 E N. So doing it slowly, first of all, we have. So let's just get our right hand and higher together. So we have 1, 2, higher choke here, but then the kick is coming with 2 of them. So left hand is staying under. You get? So I said something light, but something you can always infuse into your drum solos. You're just doing something crazy, you just put it in there. So the next one we're learning is from one very special drummer, Marcus Hassan. He does this crazy crossover lick. I've taught it once. So those of you that watch that video might recognize this lick. You get? So, very simple. I'm not going to waste time explaining this. We just basically have, see what the hands are doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then going back, they do 1, 2. Now you go back with your left hand. You went forward with your right hand, but you're going back with your left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get? So. So if this video has been helpful to you, please hit that like button and subscribe to get more helpful lessons like this. Let's continue with the lesson. So the next one we're learning now, not entirely a crossover as per se, but it works like crazy. So first of all, we have 5 notes shared between the snare and the floor tom. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then a kick after it. That's it. Very simple. Now you play this. If you are infusing it into the groove, You can play it, 4 times, and then add 4 more notes. You get play it 4 times, add 4 more notes to complete your bar. So we have. Now you must not always use this in a groove, as a feel. When you are shedding, you can just choose to keep playing this thing, not only between your snare, you can play between your thumbs. But be sure to always land on the one. You get, if you have a timing or something, always land on the one. It's very necessary. That's the most important thing. So I'm showing you guys another one. I'm showing you different crossovers you can apply. So we are going to use the 5-stroke roll now. Yeah, this is one of my favorite ways of doing it. The 5-stroke roll is simply right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, right, left. So now what we do here is we make sure our kick is following every right note. So we have. But now the crazy thing is we now play it repeatedly as groups of 5. So we have. So we're still playing it on the snare drum. We need a crossover. So creating a crossover out of this, we can decide to keep all right hands on the hi-hat and all left hands on the snare drum and the floor tom. Here's how it's going to look like. Something like this. See that? Very easy. But not very easy actually. I'll not lie. So with a little practice, you get there. So I'll play it slowly for you guys to see. Don't forget you're doing a shed, so you can just keep playing this over and over and over and make sure you don't miss your one. That's the most important thing. So you can decide to get very creative and do things like this. So one more thing from 5-stroke roll, we have the normal 5-stroke roll with a single stroke. You get something like this. So what do you do now? We're doing it between the floor tom and our hi-hat. Just take the accents and place on the hi-hat. Yeah, so the beautiful thing about all these things is you can now choose to, in a solo, you combine all of them. You see how many things I gave you guys today? You can just mix everything. You can do your double paradiddle. So you see how nice the crossovers can be if you infuse of them into a drum solo. Just make sure you improve on them. But one final thing I'm going to share with you on crossovers is that crossovers is actually just a way to over-exaggerate things. Yes. Now, everything I did here is very simple. Crossover only makes it a little bit complex and just gives your audience what they want to see. I'll give you one instance. Now, when I played something for Marcus Hazan that sounded like this, you get, we can actually do. You get? But you see, it's not going to have so much energy and it's not going to have that drama and that charisma. You get? So that's one beautiful thing about crossovers.